They led Mr. McGuire into the chamber. They laid him down. Before they administered the drugs, they asked if he had any last words. He said he apologized to the family. He told his son and daughter and his son's wife that he loved them all. And he said, quote, "I'm going to heaven. I'll see you there when you come." They administered the drugs, and within minutes, he said, "I love you," very loudly several times. And within 3 minutes, his eyes rolled back, and he was apparently asleep. About 5 minutes went by, and he didn't move. There was no sound. No one said anything, except for his family, which cried quietly. And then suddenly, about 5 minutes later, he began to convulse intermittently, clearly gasping, sort of like a loud snort or a snore, and clearly struggling to breathe. He was unconscious at this time. It's unclear how aware he was of the situation, but that went on for about 10 minutes. His family cried loudly. At one point, one of them said, "How can this possibly take so long?" Meanwhile, the victim's family, the family of the pregnant woman that he murdered 25 years ago, they said nothing. They watched silently. The whole thing took about 20 minutes before the warden finally directed the prison physician to come in. Took about 3 minutes were spent trying to gather vital signs, at which point the time of death was declared at 10:53 a.m. this morning.
Wow. Well, Jeff, what do you make of this? I mean,
well, you know, the Supreme Court has said the executions have to be two things. They have to be effective, they have to kill, and they have to be humane. It turns out it's really hard to do both. You know, we've moved in this country from hanging to electrocution to the gas chamber to lethal injection, but none of them wind up being exactly as they want to be, or as the executioners want them to be, and maybe it's just impossible to have those.
Well, this is going to be maybe a dumb question or obnoxious, but why not have a firing squad? I mean, if you're going to end up killing people, why not do it in a way, or a guillotine, which seems pretty.
Utah,
instant.
which is the last state to have a firing squad. Gary Gilmore, you remember,
right, I remember.
was executed by firing squad, and perhaps that may come back. There's an issue of whether that is cruel and unusual, whether that would be in violation of the Eighth Amendment. I don't know. I think it varies by state.
What's the difference, though, between killing somebody by putting them in a guillotine and chopping their head off, or a firing squad and injecting them with chemicals?
You know, I just can't even believe we're talking about this, right? We're talking about a firing squad and a guillotine.
But why gloss it?
It's all barbaric. It's all barbaric. And I think in our society, in a civilized society, there really is no place for it. And I know the Supreme Court has tried to make it more palatable because it is still part of our law. And we're saying, cruel and unusual. But every murder is cruel and unusual in my view. So I don't think you can find a way that's humane to do something like this.
Support for the death penalty is down dramatically from where it used to be. In the peak of the crime spate of the late 80s, early 90s, it was up around 75%. It's now down to about 60%. It's still a substantial majority. Death sentences are down. Executions are down. It appears to be sort of some states have abandoned it, but the answer of how to do it remains.
I do think, though, there's probably a fair number of people who watching this who find it hard to get worked up over a man who killed and raped and murdered a pregnant woman having a bad last few minutes of his life.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I just still, when you listen to this man's description of as he passed, it's hard for anybody who's compassionate to feel like, this is a good thing we do in a civilized society. I agree with you.
Josh, what's been reaction in Dayton?
Well, it depends on who you ask, obviously. The family hired an attorney who told us today that they plan to file an injunction against the state to cease this kind of practice in the future, claiming the Eighth Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. There are people who say it's something gone horribly wrong. On the other side, the people in the town where she lived, I spoke to them days ago, and even when this concern was raised before the execution, they said he shouldn't have done it, that whatever he experiences is going to be nothing compared to the pain and suffering that the victim experienced.